The Surge.
Smallzy Surgery.
The Surgery.
This is Smallzy Surgery.
Hey, welcome to the episode. Thank you for downloading it. It is Smallzy. This is The Surge. You know, by the way, you can hear the show live, weeknights, 7 o'clock on Nova, wherever you are. Strap in. This is a big podcast. If you have not heard of tonight's guest's name before, you are about to hear nothing but this guy's name for non-stop and basically for the rest of your life. He is a heartthrob. I mean, I'm going to apologise in advance. There's a lot of gushing in this interview from me. I get lost in his eyes. They were very blue. You know what? I'm just going to say nothing else but that his movie is Elvis. He plays Elvis. It's in cinemas in Australia, June 23. It is a Baz Luhrmann epic masterpiece. The guy who I interviewed, his name is Austin Butler. If you don't know who he is, you're about to find out. Listen to his voice, though. It's going to get right into your ears. Austin Butler, full sit-down, 15-minute chat. Let's roll it. Enjoy.
There's a lot of people saying a lot of things, but in the end, you got to listen to yourself.
Hello, I'm Austin Butler. The things are too dangerous to say. Sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis Presley.
Austin, welcome back.
Hello, good to be back.
Is it like home? A little bit like welcome home?
Genuinely.
Yeah?
I was saying this before. I know the Gold Coast better than I know Los Angeles.
Yeah, wow.
It feels like my home. I love it.
Oh my God. Can I just quickly say, every girl that I know who I told I was coming to see you, were like, can you just do like a check in real life? Oomph, ladies. Oomph in real. Anyway, I'm going to get that out of the way, just straight out.
It's a good way to start an interview.
Yeah.
You got me blushing.
No,
Yeah.
is that what it is? I don't know who's blushing more, to be honest with you. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
I was blown away. It's like a Baz Luhrmann epic masterpiece. I can't even begin to imagine what it would have been like in the center of his tornado whirlwind.
He's unlike anyone else in the world. It's the most exceptional experience. I can't even put into words how amazing that time was.
And what about for you? Obviously embodying Elvis on the big screen. I saw somewhere, did you somewhat maybe manifest the role? Like some people in your life had told you had an uncanny resemblance beforehand. At least the clip I saw said that was the case.
Yeah,
and I wasn't sure if that was like, if you had copped that growing up, that, you know what, in the right light, you did look a little bit like him.
It wasn't even growing up. It was, the bizarre thing was how it was the month before. I didn't know Baz was making the film. And the month before, I had two instances where the same person said to me, and they both came out of, one was singing Christmas songs and an Elvis Christmas song.
The story
came
is
on.
true. That's
Yeah,
what I
it's
heard.
true.
Yeah.
So there was that one, and then there was another one where I was just playing the piano. But it wasn't like this lifetime of you got to play Elvis. It was the timing of it. It was that month before, and then suddenly I get this call that Baz is making the film. Yeah, it was wild.
This is a weird question, and I don't know if anyone's asked you.
I hope not.
Well, I hope not. We'll go viral.
Let's go for it.
When you embody somebody like him,
Yeah.
who people know, and I did watch you say that you spent 2 years learning every nuance there was about him. Did you have any weird spiritual sort of connection with Elvis? Like, did you dream one night and feel like his presence maybe came through to you? I know that's a weird question because, Priscilla, and I just wasn't sure if when you take on somebody's life to the way you have, if there is something on the other side that they do pop on over and say, hello.
Yeah, it really is. I had many of those moments.
Okay.
Over 2 years where whether it was a dream or these sort of out-of-body experience moments or... there's that thing where energy is neither created nor destroyed, and you feel things that it's hard to actually put into language.
Yeah,
because it's these really intense feelings. There were those.
Okay, that's what I was a big believer of. Like the energy is, neither created or destroyed, and if it's still out there, that it might be knocking on your door and saying hello.
Quite a powerful energy,
Yeah.
Yeah, I welcomed it in as much as I could.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did I also see, when you welcome something like that in, it can be hard to let it go, right?
Yeah. You don't quite know what to do with yourself when you finish.
No.
Yeah.
Particularly over what was happening in the world. at the point in time when you were making the movie? Because I'm assuming, did you go home at the start, or did you stay in Australia the whole time?
I stayed in Australia the whole time.
Oh, the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was here for I don't even know how many months beforehand, but I got here quite early to prepare.
Yeah.
And we were a couple days out from shooting, and that's when Tom got COVID.
Yep.
And I thought at that time that it was going to be 2 weeks that we were going to shut down. It turned out to be 6 months.
Sure.
And so at the end of those 2 weeks, they said, you know what, because they had me quarantined, and then they said, we're going to ship you back to the States. And everything inside me just said, that's not right. I got to keep this momentum. I got to keep preparing. And it became this really amazing time where I didn't have anybody knocking at the door.
What did you do? Did you stay at home? Did you fall in love with Australian coffee? Did you?
Well, absolutely. Australia's got the best coffee in the world.
You're a Southern Californian boy, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, the first. So I went 3 months without a hug.
Okay.
I went 3 months where I just was locked in my apartment.
Yep.
And I wallpapered the walls with images of Elvis in a timeline, and I did nothing but just watch his films and interviews and obsess. And I would set up a camera and I record myself and I would watch it back and just trying things. You know, the constant thing of like, it allowed for me to have this time where I could just follow my curiosity, where it wasn't somebody else going, there's a timeline on what you got to do. And so every day was just, where's my curiosity leading? And then after those 3 months when we were allowed to kind of come out, I met Baz and we went surfing.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And did you escape to like Byron Bay or anywhere? Or did
I
you
went to Byron.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Byron.
Nice.
Yeah.
Every celebrity in the world found Byron Bay. It's like they never knew it existed.
Yeah.
And then COVID came and then everyone went down there. So you had a great, semi-holiday maybe? You would not really. I mean, you were deep in work.
Yeah, I brought some Elvis books and I went down there and I just read. Yeah, it's nice.
Nice. It's you singing in the movie too, right?
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You want to be a pop star or you want to be a movie star?
I'm just focusing on this right now. Yeah.
I know you can play a bunch of instruments, right?
Yeah.
What is the first love?
I started playing music before I started acting, but music for me has always been like therapy.
Yeah, okay.
It was something that my dad bought me a guitar. I obsessed about it, and I'd play for 8 hours a day and do nothing else. And it was this way that I could just disappear into music. But for whatever reason, it never crossed over into me wanting to play for the world. That wasn't a part of it. It was all personal. So this has been an interesting experience because suddenly now I'm singing and I'm doing things in front of people, and it's nerve-wracking. It's terrifying, but I've found this incredible joy in it. I love it so much.
Has anyone reached out to your people and said, "Hey, do you want to put together an album?" Like I would imagine.
I'm just focusing on acting.
Yeah, no, okay. He's deflecting the question. I'll take that as a deflection. The family have come out and given the movie a massive thumbs up. That must mean a lot, right?
Yeah, that's the best review I could ever hope for. Yeah.
Did Priscilla say anything to you like, "Holy shit, you look like my husband"?
She
like uncanny.
She didn't say it in those words, but
yeah, okay.
She it was so special getting to be at Cannes, and I gave her this big hug afterwards.
Yeah,
just to see the tears in her eyes, and it's so surreal. I mean, looking into her eyes, she loves Elvis to this day. He fell in love with her all those years ago, and she's the mother of his only child. Like all of that is so. It's magic. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's ever present, right?
Yeah,
like you can feel like watching that story on the big screen, the love they had for each other, irrespective of what was going on with their lives and which paths they took. Their love for each other was until the end.
Yeah.
Talk about Tom Hanks. He's a legend.
He's a legend,
isn't he? Were you nervous the first time you met him?
Yeah. I went over. I met him at Baz's house for the first time. And he was outstanding. Baz was living on this river in the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And they were outstanding by the water. I walked out there.
Did you think in your head, what am I going to say to Tom the first time? Don't be an idiot. Like,
yeah, it's that thing of meeting your heroes. You don't quite know how he was going to be. I didn't know if he was going to be standoffish, what he was going to be.
Yeah.
And instead, he sees me from really far away and he goes, "My boy, give me a hug." And he holds out his arms and he gives me this huge bear hug. And,
oh, nice.
And then Baz went inside and he and I just talked by the water for a while. And then he said, I was at was at the stage earlier today, and I was choosing the doors I was going to be throwing up outside of for the first week. And I said, well, why, you nervous? And he goes, I'm terrified. He goes, how are you? And I said, I'm terrified. And from that moment, then we could share, and suddenly we're colleagues. And I'm looking at my hero who's saying that, sharing his vulnerabilities. And I never knew if that was real or if he was just allowing me
trying to make you feel, yeah. Whatever it was, it worked for you, right?
Yeah, it did.
The character he plays, Colonel Tom Parker, I can't work out if he's the villain or not, and I would just
I'm glad you say it like that.
I
when
would
you
like
talk
your
to Tom,
hot take on it.
Yeah.
Because I did get a little angry at him in the movie, but then I also was angry at Elvis. But then I thought maybe it's the yin with the yang, like there's, in this life, I think you don't get something without a little something else, and those two sort of did seem to need each other.
Yeah, I think it's the complexity of any human being. There's not, things aren't black or white. There's not just this one thing. So it's a very complex relationship that is filled with a lot of love, and then at a certain point there's moments where, because Colonel didn't have an artistic bone in his body, and he had different goals, and so at the end of the day there are moments where I think that it's tragic that it's an absolute tragedy Elvis never got to perform outside.
Overseas.
Overseas.
It blows your mind.
It blows your mind.
When you think about his fame in a worldwide sense, that he never played a show outside of the USA.
Absolute tragedy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I'm just going to make it about you one more time before I go. You have this brooding look, right, when you do photos. I'm sure you know you do. I know you do. Is it... I can't do it, right? but you look just like it's like when you the eyes just a little bit up, straight down. Is it? Yeah, that. How does that happen? Are you born with that, right? Or did someone teach you? Is that if you could leave me with one thing, if I could walk away with something from Austin Butler, it would be how to be a little bit sexy like him.
I think it's fun. I had this conversation with Jim Jarmusch once where he
I don't know who that is, but
do you not know who that is?
No, who?
You do not know who that is? Oh, you know who that is, yeah. I mean, one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. Like, you got to go watch some of his films.
Okay.
It's amazing. And we were about to walk out on a red carpet, and he takes these sunglasses out of his pocket, and he puts them on his face. And he said, people, because he always looks so cool in pictures, and he's always got these sunglasses. And you think, oh, he's just this badass who doesn't smile and just always wears sunglasses. And he said, people always think that I wear sunglasses because I think I'm cool. And he goes, it's because I'm just so nervous to go out there.
Okay.
And that was such a nice thing to hear, because I'm so nervous when I get on a red carpet.
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's so wild. I don't like attention.
Okay.
And suddenly you're out there and you got to talk to. Yeah, I mean, I get to talk to a lot of people. Yeah. But it's I'm a shy kid at heart, and so for me, I think as well, when I was younger, I'd get captured on a red carpet mid pose, and you just look
have
like
that
a
awful
complete
photo.
Goofball. Yeah, it's like when paparazzi get you eating, and you look just
no
wild.
one looks sexy eating. Oh, well, some people look sexy.
Yeah, some people look
good eating. Yeah. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I mean, sometimes you can't help. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just was so happy. I was smiling
to be
up
there.
A storm, but. Yeah, I think that some of that comes from just being shy. And
okay, so the takeaway is to look sexy like that eyes, just be shit scared constantly inside when you're just in public, and hopefully one day a photo will look good like that.
Yeah.
Or you're either got it or
you also
don't.
got to think something. It's not just you
got to think something.
I've had different models tell me that.
Because someone said to me,
you have a thought, and it's like you're flirting with the camera.
Yeah, I am.
You know what I mean?
So for me, no.
Always.
I'm feeling this right now.
Yeah.
I'm being wrapped up. A pleasure to meet you.
Right.
Congratulations
nice
on
to
the
meet
movie.
You. Thank you so much.
Iconic role.
Thank you
For your time, and welcome back to Australia anytime you want.
Thank you so much.
Smallsy Surgery
is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.